cold frozen tundra of the Great White North.
Or at least in the eyes of most Americans.
Craig Knight speaks to unique Canadians who've made a difference in music, film, television, and more. Join us for another episode of You Can Now with Craig Knight.
All right, welcome back. Here we are. My name is Craig Knight, and this is my podcast, You Can Now, in conversation with unique Canadians. And I'm actually just sitting here about to edit the episode together. And just kind of, I did a few of these things last year, and I'm pretty new at it. And I can't say that I'm a fantastic podcast person at this point in time. I was in the publishing industry for a long time, and I'm sort of translating this to going out and doing these things. But, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts. I listen to, obviously the Mark Marons and I listen to Joe Rogan every once in a while. And, there's a lot of guys doing this. And the ones that fascinate me a lot are these guys that can actually sit there and talk to themselves. Dee Snider does it. He's Dee Snider, and he's a little full of himself, and he doesn't have a problem talking about himself. So on the one hand, I get that. The Rock and Roll Geek Show is one that I really like a lot with this guy named Michael Butler. And, he does it too. And he's just a guy, and he's put together this great show, and he does it every week by himself. And it's really just cool that these guys can actually sit there and talk to themselves and actually not sound like an idiot doing it. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to not sound like an idiot as I sort of introduce the show and sort of, tell you what's been going on in my life before we go ahead and get a hold of this interview. Get on with this interview. The reason that we haven't done these things in a while is basically because I fucked up. I had sort of the worst year from hell, and I think it just kicked the shit out of me with regards to any sort of creativity. I had a really hard time. I used to do a lot of music stuff. I used to do a lot of writing. I used to do a lot of stuff, man, that really sort of had to do with sort of who I was and what made me me. And this last year, I just wasn't able to do much of it. I don't know what it was. I know, I came out of a nasty relationship. It wasn't a nasty. The relationship itself was great. The ending was nasty. And it was one of those ones that just wouldn't die. And anyway, it sucked the life out of me. And, I remember moving to this small place and, trying to get my shit together after this thing. And, I'm thinking, okay, I'm here on my space. I'll let out all this stuff and, I'll put it into music. I'll put it into a screenplay. I'll put it into a different project. I'll start painting. I'll do whatever. And I'll get this stuff that's inside me out. And that'll give me all kinds of great fodder for new material. And what it did was it just put me on the couch. I remember sitting in the room one day and thinking, I really should be playing guitar. I really should be kind of writing a song. I should be doing, and looking over literally 3 feet from me, my guitar against the wall, and thinking, wow, man, it's way over there. Like, I don't know if I can make the effort to actually get up, get over there, pick it up, sit down and do this thing. And I did that for a year. For a year, I did that. And, I've been talking to some other friends of mine too, and some other musician guys, some other sort of visual artists and writers and things like that. And I don't know if it's the universe or the electromagnetic field of the planet, or if everybody's just going through shit. But everybody I've been talking to has just been having the year from creative hell. And so anyway, I'd planned a lot of these podcasts. I made a lot of stupid excuses why I couldn't do them. I got sick with the flu for a while. That kind of blew a few things off. We had some great stuff lined up with Mike McDonald, with Howie Mandel. We had a lot of big stuff coming up, and I just fucked it up, man. I just kind of let go of it, and it was, it really was disappointing to me, because here I was thinking, I got to do this thing because it's what makes me feel good. I really enjoy talking to these people. I enjoy listening to their stories. I enjoy the, creative journey, and I knew by doing so, by getting out and doing it, it was going to help me kind of get out of the funk I was in. But every time I had an opportunity to do that, I just pulled the rug out from under myself and said, I don't want to. I'm just going to bask in my bullshit. And it took a long time, man. And then this summer came, and you're thinking, okay, I've got all the energy of the sun. It's bright. It's warm. It's fun. It's, let's get out there and do stuff. And I did nothing. I did absolutely nothing except sweat my balls off, because this was the first year of my life that I actually had no air conditioning in my life, none in my car, none in my house. It was just, I think that was my purge. I think I went through hell this summer. I think I actually sat in the depths of hell and sweat my balls off. And I think finally all that crap kind of came out of me. So here I am. I'm back. We're gonna do we're on track to do a weekly show now again. Thank God. And there's a lot of interesting people coming up, and I know you're gonna have a good time. And I got some dating stories and all kinds of stuff like that that's going to come out. So we'll talk about a lot of that kind of stuff next week and as we go forward. And actually, I have a relationship specialist coming on the show in the next couple of weeks, so that'll be really exciting. And if you're really into that kind of stuff, I got to give a shout out to Alanis Morissette, because she actually started a new podcast. I think she's only on maybe her third episode is just coming up now. But she deals with a lot of that sort of personal growth and relationship issues and if you're into all that kind of, namaste crap, it's a good place to come from, because again, if you're not happy with yourself, you're not going to be happy with the world around you, and the whole trick is getting happy with yourself, and that's one of the things I think I've learned. And anyway, so here we are. Let's get on with the interview with Al. I'll stop talking about my bullshit, and let's listen to his. All right, we'll talk to you soon, and see you next week.
Okay. Cheers.
Cheers. You want to kill that?
Oh yeah. Kill the funk.
Just so
Kill the funk.
just so they don't get me to pay royalties on that stuff.
Oh. You punk supporters.
Yeah, no, I saw you at that. We'll just go, man. So I saw you at that. I guess was it Shauna's show, or did she put that show together, or that Steam was?
No,
something?
Leslie did.
Oh,
Leslie,
okay.
I think Leslie's and Shauna worked on it, but Leslie was the main instigator for it, or the one for it.
You just had a couple of pieces there.
I just had 3 pieces.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't with the. It was sort of nice because I don't really have to do that much. I don't. I'll promote it on Facebook and tell friends about it, but it's not. It's not all the. I mean, I just have to show up and put art there. So I got the easy part.
How long have you been doing it now? Like, I mean, I think, like I said, I mean, I had Mendelsohn Joe on the show a long time ago, and that was, because I remember seeing him around. He was always on the scene, and back in the day, I think he was on Much Music all the time, and he had the music, and he had the art, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You've been around in the scene for forever, too, right?
Well, not as long in the tooth as him. I was around, I actually started doing drawings and getting noticed for them around 1984.
You're from Toronto?
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the East End,
Yeah.
East York proud. And then, so I lived here then, I went to school to study to become a filmmaker, and then that didn't work out. And then I just sort of bummed around and started drawing, and then I just had friends, because I had some artistic talent, it started with doing murals, and then I just started doing art pieces, and I didn't have no conscious thought of being an artist. I thought it seemed like a fun way to make a living, and then I was hanging around Kensington Market, and this woman at a clothing store asked me to do some design some of the stuff for her store, and actually when I first started drawing, I had a how-to book of how to draw cartoons.
Oh, really?
Like, it's one of the things I stole from Kohl's bookstore. So I would copy that, and then there's other artists in the city I totally copied and stealed, and I'd steal their drawings, and I wouldn't call them my own. I'd say because we all theft in some degree.
So that's kind of how you were developing your style, basically.
Well, yes. I didn't really start. I mean, as a kid, I had an artistic flair. I would doodle, but I didn't really seriously think about drawing.
Yeah. How do you get there, though? How do you go from doodling and kind of doing to now I'm a professional artist?
People ask you.
Yeah.
See, it started because people started asking me to do more stuff, and then also I think I had more of I'm lucky now that I'm pretty established, and work seems to come to me now.
But established not with any sort of effort that you put in there? You think you...
Oh, I think... No, the effort is in the doing the artwork.
Yeah.
But I think more established is that I mean, I don't know. Outside Toronto, people probably don't know who the fuck I am, right? But in Toronto, like it's like I'm a pretty recognizable Toronto artist. Like I think because also a combination of how long I've been doing it.
Well, yeah, because you got iconic buildings. You're doing the ride guide. You're doing all that stuff.
Yeah, and now the Pabst thing. But also even back then, I did like the introduction for the first Rap City opening, which was nationwide, and that was the first rap show. I did lots of murals in the '80s, and then my career sort of died. And then I worked for a year using my style for Nestle's for their chocolate called Smiles and Chuckles, which also died, in which I saw all my artwork in Dollaramas the next year, which I thought was great. I thought it was so cool. And then, it's that was pretty good. But yeah, I've just been doing it long time. I mean, I didn't intentionally want to do this. I mean, I thought it was, because I was a lazy alcoholic. A normal job really didn't suit me that much. So it just seemed a really easy way, and I just love being creative.
So did you do film stuff when you got into film? Did you make shorts?
Yeah, if you go on YouTube, I have a site where all my short films are.
Okay.
So you just go like I think Runt Films or Runt something, and it lists a lot of the films I did when I was about 18 or 19, and they're all like just about like
live action stuff or animated stuff?
A combination.
Oh, okay.
Like some was the one was first one that got on the All Night Show, this old TV show in the 80s. It was called Fellini, and it's just it's only like a minute and a half, but it's from the bottom of a toilet, and some guy, it's an animated ass coming on and shitting on you. It's supposed to be like fake 3D, and then a guy sticks his head in the toilet and goes Fellini. That's the whole film, right? I didn't even come up with this. I was drunk and stoned the night at a guy's house, and he said, "This would be a great film." I said, "That would be a really great film." Because it was like Fellini, the auteur director. And then the films I tried to make this film called 7 Films. I tried for about 4 or 5 years, but I was just I just went out too much. I didn't really have the focus for it and the discipline for it. So it just sort of fell by the wayside. But artwork is a very good fit for me.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's quick, it's easy. All I got, and it's low maintenance. All I gotta do is a board or a canvas, draw it, paint it, easy as pie. I don't need it. I
notice you're not using like a stereotypical canvas anymore. You're actually using wood and you're cutting it to.
Well, this is specific.
Yeah.
Like when I first started doing paintings, like actual paintings, I would steal wood from construction sites because I was really cheap and had no money.
Sure.
In
And
the
canvas
80s,
is
right?
expensive.
Yeah. And also I was just, as I said, I think I was working for Now magazine, delivering papers, and a combination of work and then welfare and just living the dream. So I didn't have much money, and I didn't really know anything about art. Like I'm totally self-taught when it comes to art, but now this is like I do canvases, I do whatever. I mean, like I don't know if you've seen the Van.
Yeah.
And like I'll paint on any. I think any surface is good.
Yeah.
I try to take the preciousness out of
Right.
and I try like this is going to be fun. Like, and also this is, if you notice, there's a crack. This is for the Silver Snail, and there is I'll show you.
It's 2 pieces. This one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, what happens? It's going in the corner.
Oh.
So
okay.
it'll wrap around the corner.
Okay.
And I've got another one. There's 7 pieces in total. The biggest one I just finished is in the other room. It's beside the couch, and that's a really long piece, and that wraps around the wall. And that'll probably be done in about, I'm thinking early January, installing it at the Silver Snail. And that's going to be the entranceway coming up. Which
Wow.
Be fucking, it's going to look really fucking, it's going to look amazing.
So how'd that come about? How did?
He looked for me.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, it's a pretty privilege.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice.
Because they got the cafe up there now too, right?
Yeah,
Is
the
it
cafe and all the comic books and all, like, it's, it's all the models. I mean, I don't really. I used to buy comics a lot.
Yeah.
I don't really read comics anymore.
So it wasn't like you were a comic geek and you loved all the artwork and that's where you're going to go, or you weren't a Warhol fan or anything like that. You just kind of.
Well, I like the Robert Crumb.
Yeah. So were you
Art
self-publishing?
Speed,
Did you ever
Art
do that?
Speed,
Did you ever do any self-publishing stuff?
I tried it, but my stories sucked.
Yeah.
They really sucked. Like I remember I was down in San Francisco trying to sell, and actually the Last Gas Publishing, which is a really big publishing house in San Francisco. They bought one of my illustrations, and they just looked at my stories, and they're sort of weird. I mean, I get them, but they don't seem to read well for other people.
Right.
Like so, I'm not a very good storyteller.
Okay.
I mean, I can doing like when you see the picture, it's almost like my paintings. It's almost like it's a story that you can create yourself.
Sure.
And that's the idea of it.
Yeah.
I just put like elements here, some conflict here, and then you make it up as you want in your.
So
own
when
head.
you get assigned a piece, let's say like Lee's Palace or something like
No.
that or whatever, is it up to you to do what you want there, or are they giving you direction of what they're looking for?
The only direction I usually get now is, and also I hate direction.
Yeah.
Because I'm so specific with what I do.
Yeah.
Like it's like someone can you do like I drink in East End bars, and now luckily and before I was just that fucking alcoholic or the guy drinking the bar, but now because of the all the press I've gotten this year, and the Lee's Palace, not the Lee's Palace, the Ride Guide, and the Pabst Blue Ribbon now I'm that artist guy.
Yeah.
But when I first moved here, everyone thought I was a cop. I was so clean cut, but now I'm the artist guy in these shithole bars.
Yeah.
But
The Pabst thing, man, that's big, right? That's
that's just coming out now. That's just
Yeah.
that's not even in all the stores yet. So it's
And
still,
is it national? Is it like?
that's national Canada. It's 1.3 million cans.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
I did not know that when they they got a real deal. They got a real deal on that. I thought it was a $10,000 can run. I didn't know it was that many. And then they're making Apple like these things.
Oh,
For apples coming out in the spring.
yeah.
They're going, I mean, it's great. It's great exposure. I never know what exposure what it actually does for you. I never have jobs. Like every time I do these big things, I sort of used to think that all this stuff's going to change, but nothing really changes. I mean, now
The phone rings more.
the
it
phone,
must.
well, the people offers do come in, but there's always there's ebb and flow. Where,
Yeah.
I mean, there's people little things like, oh, he'll be chilled. He's too expensive now, which
Right.
is not a bad thing.
No. Well, the one thing that I've always found with art or anything like that is people just assume, well, you did it yourself, man. So why are you charging so much money for it? I mean, it's, you did it yourself, and that's the first thing that always pisses me off when you hear that thing. Right?
Well, also, I mean, I'm getting, especially when corporate, especially now, because it's when they hire me, they want what I do.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, can you do a picture of
Yeah,
my cat?
yeah,
It's sort of,
yeah.
It's that. So it's a nice competition, and also I'm like the worst business guy in the world. Like I am oppositely like.
So are you repped now, kind of
No,
thing?
no. I got some people who offer and do it for me because I actually this one guy offered me a job. This actually just happened this summer. He said, "I'd like you to do this job for me," and it's pretty big. And he said, and I said, "So what's your budget?" And he said, and he keep in mind he looked for me.
Yeah.
He wanted me to do it. It wasn't like I'm in competition with anybody.
Right.
He went like, I'm thinking about $5,000, and right on my first thing was I said I can do it for $2. And I thought, fuck, I should just do this. But I talked to him, and we settled on something a bit more reasonable. But as soon as I thought, because I'm so, I mean, there was years where I fucking no one wanted to buy my stuff.
Yeah.
So it still lingers on, but yeah, that's a tough thing. I mean, I think pricing. Some people are really like I try and be fair with everything. Like some people are over arrogant with pricing, like they really think that there's too special, and some people are under. I don't know. It's a weird medium to find.
Yeah.
And also, I try to read the people I'm talking to. Like like I'm doing some things. Like this is my board of work, right? And that's how much my bills are currently. And right now, Bobby Joe is the next. Bobby Joe and the Snails at the top. That one there. So
Okay. Yeah.
And Bobby Joe is. I don't expect to get much from her because she's starting. She's just I think a mom with a kid and starting her home business. So I'm not really expecting gazoos of cash.
Right.
But I mean, but I don't mind. But I don't mind doing that because I mean, I would hate to think that I'd be a person that just works for lots and lots of money.
Yeah. So the gig you just had, you had the was it the Putting Edge or something? I think you just did too. Yeah. Was that something you sought out, or people came to you again? Yeah.
That was actually I worked for the Putting Edge 10 years ago.
Oh.
When they have courses all throughout Canada, and then he got to me and actually because he has a lot of the old pieces, and actually I was looking at some of the older stuff I was doing and the stuff I did now, and like I'm actually way better now. But yeah, so and that might link out to do other courses. And so basically we just sort of not gutting the physical thing of the courses, but more like priming them and what's the big word? Rebooting them.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, you saw they look amazing. Like I did this octopus, I did this fucking
I was looking at this
big dragon of a volcano thing, and a whole bunch of little side creatures. And we changed, and also it was more like a lot of color palettes I changed on.
So again, you still have the freedom to go in and do your thing in that kind of.
Well, he trusts me.
Yeah.
Like he has certain, certain things he wants. Like I really this is a family Putting Edge thing.
Yeah.
And so I don't really think like there's some things where the guys and I still get this. They go like, well, can you ease it up on the penises? And fucking tits.
Yeah.
And I go like, yeah, that's fine. I don't do that.
You're
for
not
everything.
an idiot.
I mean, it's for my kids' room.
Yeah.
Like chickens wanking each other off. Yeah. But no, I mean I realize that because I mean some things like when I did the thing for the Putting Edge, not for Putting Edge. I realized it's not going to be
And for the snail.
the snail. And the snail thing they said, and I said, don't worry about it. And also, I don't know how to do that. I mean, I don't think it's I don't think it'd work there.
Yeah, exactly.
But on Lee's Palace Rock and Roll venue, there's like fucking 70 dicks on that one.
Yeah.
And fucking more tits on that one. And then there's on the electric mud mural, there's tons of puking and fucking and penis shaped crucifixes. So I mean, and they want it to be that way.
Yeah.
So you pick it, but also it makes it more fun. It doesn't to be rude all the time it's like being nice all the time.
But are you playing, or are you pulling stuff from your past? Are you pulling stuff out from inside and saying, okay, I got to get this shit out. This is the stuff that's bothering me, and this is the way you're doing it, or are you just having fun?
I'm really. I mean, I'm totally.
Like, are you a tortured artist getting this? Your paint on canvas kind of thing.
Art's one thing I don't torture about.
Yeah.
I overthink it.
Yeah.
Like I really, like nowadays especially, when I was younger and first doing it, and when I first became sort of popular, I was quite arrogant about it. Like I would think I was
all that,
just,
the shit,
I was like, I just got all this attention and this sort of this money, and it can make people turn into an asshole, and I turned into a fucking asshole supreme. Now I'm much more, I'm mellow, I'm older, and I really, I love doing it. Like I won't do anything. I made a promise like 5-6 years ago when I started. 6 years ago I jumped back into doing it again. I said I'm not going to do anything unless I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll take any project, but I won't do something unless I'm really happy with it.
Yeah.
Because and yeah, I mean, the last thing, I think I like to various degrees. I mean, some things more than others. It's hard to keep it, but I mean, I do think nowadays, I think my quality meter is pretty standard now. And also back then, I was doing I was doing tons of coke, like fucking. I think one year in like 1992, my New Year's resolution was to shove as much coke up my nose as possible during that year.
But you were in that whole punk scene and stuff back then
Well,
too, right?
I mean,
Late
just-
80s,
I
early,
mean-
well, in the
Well,
90s
but-
wasn't even punk anymore, really, was it? No, it was.
No, it's sort of by the 90s, everyone just
Yeah.
didn't know what the hell to do with themselves. It was pretty well.
Yeah.
It was I mean, like there wasn't. I don't know. For me, it was sort of a lost.
So were you
Lost
here during that
decade.
whole, I guess, the early 80s stuff when Queen Street was just kind of happening?
Yes.
And,
Well,
yeah.
I worked at the Cameron.
Oh, did you? Okay.
I worked at the
yeah.
Cameron as a waiter there for a short time.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
And then I worked at Leeds Palace as a waiter there for a short time. And then that's how I got into it. And then back then I was, like, I lived nearby and I just happened to accidentally go in there. And then I really quite liked it. And then I just started going there and they had, people were putting art in the walls. You had like people like Eldon Garnett doing all this stuff. And who's the guy?
Who did the work on the outside of the camera with the ants and all that stuff?
Oh, that's Napoleon Boussaint or Boussert. Napo. I also said Napo B, so I don't fuck up his name. And yeah, he did that, and he's part of he was part of a collective, which I can't remember the name off the hand right now. But yeah, and also the funny thing about those, it's a play on words. If you don't know it, there's 10 of them, so it's 10 ants.
Oh.
And there's 10 rooms.
Right.
in the place.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Oh.
So, but I mean, so I went there, and then actually for 1 year, I actually used the back room in the daytime as my studio.
Oh, okay.
Because I lived in the basement apartment, like it was just a tiny 2-room basement apartment. And I'd go in there and I'd come in around 1 o'clock, work for 5 hours, and they didn't charge me anything. And they're very supportive of arts.
Yeah,
it was great.
Yeah. So were you part of a collective and stuff when you first came out?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Just-
It's like
always
the
going?
Groucho Marx line.
Yeah.
Why would I want to
Yeah,
join
yeah.
any party that would want me? No, and I really wasn't asked that much because I find some people's, I don't know, I think art is sort of like, I don't know what it is. Also, I think I feel borderline intimidated by like educated artists because I really don't. I mean, all I know I get from TV, movies, covers of magazines, and reading liner notes and albums.
Yeah.
That's where I get all my education.
Yeah.
And so, like I have a tough time describing what I do. I mean, other people, usually like when I do grants or proposals, I just clip out with someone else. Because I can't think of it that way.
Yeah.
I'm more worried about making it look good and make it enjoyable and maybe do some theme or something like that, some consistent theme.
So do you think these kind of little shows work? Like
What?
Like again, like the Steam Whistle show, for instance, that we just had a little while ago.
Yeah.
Like, do they work? Are they helping the artists get out there? Is it making a difference? Do you think for?
You know what? It depends.
Or are you preaching to the converted kind of thing?
Well, I think like for that show too, there's a lot of people who don't show. I sound a bit arrogant, but I've done a lot of shows.
Yeah.
I've shown a lot of art. I've shown it around, and I always got to remember that there's people who maybe this would be their first or haven't shown in like 15 years, and for them it's just it feels good. As I remember when it used to happen to me.
Yeah.
So I always try and think about that. It's like another show.
Do you do your own shows anymore?
I did one at Jet Fuel last August.
So do you go in with the purpose of this is a show and I'm going to create material specifically?
No, these were leftover pieces because
Yeah.
I worked for North by Northeast. I was the lead art display for this year's North by Northeast at Leeds Palace. We did an indoor glow-in-the-dark multimedia presentation during the bands.
Yeah.
So the deal with an Absolute sponsor, it was great, Absolute Runt. It was really good. Had lots of we had video display doing animated cartoons and the glow in the dark painting. So it looked totally alive. And we had I had drum things there, and we did animated drum beats to go with the music. It looked
Awesome,
really
yeah.
fucking cool. With that, then, and that was about 37 pieces that I did in like literally I did it in this house. And I hired a friend of mine for a few days to help me out because I had to do it in 2 weeks. And so literally every square inch of this floor and outside, this was in late May, early June, was covered in like paintings to dry because I had to do about 3 to 4 paintings that big.
Yeah.
And so that'd be the second biggest, and they're smaller, but I had to do 3 or 4 a day for like 2 weeks, right? So it was just covered. It was like fucking, it was insane.
So what would something like that take you to do? What size is that? It's about 4 or 5 by.
That,
3
well,
by 5, kind of?
right now, like if I worked on that steady, that would take me 4 days, 4 to 5. That would be a week. Like especially right now, the drawing process is the longest.
So you know where that's going right now?
What do you mean?
You can see where that's.
Yeah, slowly.
Yeah, or do you kind of work as you're going and.
I work as I'm going because the more you look at something, the more you get ideas about it. Like I mean like this way I've had a thing, and then I thought, I thought like Hot Wheels tracks, and then I thought the mouth coming in, then that, and then I thought fucking. And I started googling on my phone about Hot Wheels. I go the Ring of Fire, and then the loops, and then the 2 loops, the double loops. And then it was an easy choice putting in a mouth at the end. That's
Right.
Actually, that was just me being lazy. But there would be cars there, and I haven't really thought about the background yet. But yeah, I find it works better if. Also, I've been working a lot. I say in the last 2 weeks, it's been Christmas stuff. So I mean, if I was really just to dedicate myself to that, I'd say 5 days. Like the drawing would take probably 3 days. If I would just do it drawing, like I do something, think about it, play a record, make some tea, make a sandwich, and then I would get back to it. But once it's all drawn out and I just do the painting, if I could zips along pretty fast.
Yeah.
Because I can't draw all day. Like it just it hurts your head.
Yeah.
Because you're it's like you're making decisions all day. Like should I put it? And actually, after about doing it for
You just
5,
wiped
your
out,
head hurts, right?
Yeah.
But doing colors, I can do that for 8-10 hours.
Oh yeah.
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 But that's easy, right? Because you just fill in the color, and then once you see it in there, like once it's the track will be one color, and I'll go throw some cars.
So do you have a color palette already picked out, kind of thing, or
I mean, things are obvious. One, the track has to be Hot Wheels orange.
Right.
So that goes without saying. And generally, for the color palette, there's like with that, I usually go from size. Like I pick the biggest size, fill a color in, and then complement it.
Yeah.
But for this, because it has to be Hot Wheels orange, like I'm just going to mimic what the labels are, and then I'll build everything else around that.
How many different pieces do you have on the go at one time?
I can work on a bunch, but generally that really doesn't work for me that well.
Yeah.
Because I just I'm not a good multitasker.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't work for me that well. It's just I find it's there's I'm pretty lazy. I don't like to work a lot. Like I'm lucky because I've got enough people that want me to do stuff now, and like I'm sure it appears. That's a great thing about Facebook. Facebook, you go over someone's like last 6-7 months. They go, they did a lot, and they don't realize there's like 2 weeks between things, right? Like, they're really fucking on the go. They're fucking
Has that generated more work for you, like just the social media stuff? Do you find that works? Do you work it, the social media specifically?
Well, I post everything. I really don't do anything personal.
Yeah.
Except I think for this whole like Syrian thing, which is because I drink in fucking East End hoser bars where they just think that you shouldn't let nobody get they go, there's a bunch of Syrians like and screaming at there's a bunch of Syrians like just got in the country and they're yelling insults. I go like, well, fucking great. Have pictures of fucking soccer hooligans. Yeah. Maybe we should ban the Irish too. But I try that because Facebook's arguments are like just because I know there's people who just spend all day on it. Like on Facebook, I'll post something. And it's like, there's Christine. There's just people who just live on that fucking thing. And I don't want to get involved in that because I mean, social media is good, but I don't think it really changes anyone's minds. I think it's more of a thing you do for yourself. But I do sell paintings off it. Like I try and, like, whenever I do a painting, I always post it. Like, choose it mainly for art.
Is your website? Can you buy off your website? Do you
No.
No.
I don't have a website.
Oh, you're not set up?
I have one for the film.
Yeah, but you're not set up for your art and stuff online?
No, just, I don't have enough.
Yeah.
Like I still have about 20 cutouts and stuff like that. And generally I just say if people want my work, just email me and you can come by.
Yeah.
And drop by and have a look and see if you like something, or if you want, you can commission me and wait a few months for it.
Yeah.
Let's see. There's one guy's coming out. There's going to be a Runt tour, a self-guided Runt tour you can use on your smartphone. So it's all the murals in the city, and it'll give you guidelines where to go, backstories on them. It's not released yet. It's called niche tours.
That's a great idea.
And you can just do it on your phone.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea.
That's a great idea.
It's done by the Hippie Van Man.
Oh, okay.
That's his company. So he wants to try and do it throughout most major cities. Like the niche tour isn't just about me. I'm just one of many niche tours, but I'm the first one.
How did the ride guide thing come about? How did that?
They looked for me.
They looked for you.
Yeah.
Oh, so you didn't enter with a whole bunch of other guys?
Nope.
Wow.
Nope. Yes, I know. It was. I just finished the Electric Mud early October, and I got an email. Said, we're interested in you doing the cover for the ride guide. And really, I thought, okay. But then I went and looked at it, and I thought, that's because I think mine is probably the most. I don't know what the word to use. Better. I get people who also when I'm in the TDC, I try not to stare at it. Like it's, I even now, I sit here and one of the main street buses go here, and whenever I see a streetcar or a bus or a subway go by, I know exactly where they are. I always check. Like, it's the coolest thing. I mean, it's all through. I mean, that to me is the coolest thing that happened this year.
Yeah.
Like, that's in every. I mean, that is part. I mean, it's like I got a lot of attention when it first happened, like media and people. But now it's so cool because now this is where I love it. It's like now it's just part of it.
Yeah,
it's not even that special. It's just
How long will this run? How long will they?
Well, for a year.
For a year,
and then in March, end of February, March, the new one will come out.
Oh, okay.
And I'm sure they'll. And according to them, it's gone well. But I mean, once you finish a job, people rarely ever get back to you.
Yeah.
You know, it's if you're working with someone, especially in the art thing, if you want them to do favors, like I haven't even got a Pabst Blue Ribbon case yet.
Oh, you haven't?
No. You think?
I was going to ask how many cases they're going to give you.
I don't know. I have to ask. I don't know. I won't even. I thought at least when I worked for Absolute.
Who's Pabst out? Who's putting Pabst out? Who's distributing Pabst here?
I don't know.
Is it Molson or is it one of those guys?
No idea. I honestly don't. Oh. I mean, I've got one. Someone gave me a can, and I got one can in the fridge, and I don't want to open it. But it's just say that. But I mean, even with Absolute Vodka, when I was working for them, they curried over a big bottle of vodka to have me familiar with the product.
No, I never had it before.
This vodka's good. And so, but yeah, it's like you'd think they'd have a bit more. I don't know.
They used to, but I think the laws changed a little bit. Because I know when I used to do my magazine, we had a party at Steam Whistle too. We had a launch party for something down there, and I think it was Iceberg Vodka. They sent cases of stuff, man. I mean,
I remember that. That's shaped like an iceberg.
Yeah.
I love that stuff.
Yeah, but once upon a time they used to send you boatloads of stuff. Now you can't get anything.
Well, I think also because I remember at the time, because my age, in the '80s. There was, and I'd be in bars all the time. That's my whole, bars were my offices. I was on Queen Street. A lot of the artists would go there, and all the gallery people, and people would come because it was the new big thing. I think it's a bit different now. I'm sure it's a bit different now. But I remember in these bars, there'd always be beer reps. And they come in and they buy, like, for 1 hour, it'd be fucking this fucking huge party. Like, the guy would just say, like, fucking Black Label for everybody. And it'd go, like, for an hour, and they'd leave, and that was great. I mean, I'm sure those people died.
Yeah, but the same thing happened in the music industry, right? They used to have music reps too. They used to go to all the different stores, and everybody used to do it. Now there's not even record stores anymore, so you know.
Well, there's an HMV.
Yeah. One,
and
two.
And Cops records. Yeah. Well, used record stores.
Yeah, used record stores.
Yeah.
So do you find the demographic is like you have a certain demographic for your work? Do you think?
No,
I
don't. I think it just.
Like, would people know going into a Putting Edge and see your stuff that they could actually buy your stuff? Would they know that?
I don't think so, because they're not in Toronto.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing. And also, it's not really... I use a couple, like, of characters, but there's so much other stuff there. It's not really a Runt thing.
Okay.
Like, it's more like... I mean, the characters... I mean, I just want to do well-drawn characters, but I don't really want to do... I'd love to do a Runt golf course, but I mean, it'd have to be more than what he's
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, I just want to do. I mean, I love doing design work.
Yeah.
Like to make something and make it look beautiful. Not everything has to be me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's why I like working for the staging companies or staging company because it flips it up. Like, I mean, it's you ask anyone who has a full-time job they do all the time, you hate it more days. After a while, you hate it more days than you love it, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I like doing lots of little things.
Yeah.
And I love doing it. I love doing that. I love looking at my calendar and thinking like, oh, what am I doing that day?
So do you stay in touch though? Like, are you looking at other artists? Are you seeing what everybody else is doing? Are you trying to, like, do you follow it?
I don't really know the gallery. I don't know if there is a gallery scene in the city anymore.
Yeah.
It used to be, like, I went looking for galleries. Like, I don't know where they are now. Like, there's not many on Queen Street anymore.
Yeah. There's something last night on Bloor Street or tonight too.
The Super Wonder Gallery.
Yeah.
I'll probably check that out. I probably won't go to the party. But and that's actually a really cool space.
Yeah.
They have something going, and that's and I think that's probably the most fun gallery in the city right now.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Well, I don't know what else to compare it to. It's a big gallery. He hosts like about 60 people, so he's very well connected.
Yeah.
The quality artwork overall is pretty good. Like, I've been to see a couple of shows, and there's like 60 pieces. And generally, a majority of them I like.
Yeah.
Which is so. I mean, I think if you get a 50% mark, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I know once upon a time, I guess back in the day, those places like Garnet Press used to have their own little studio or their own little gallery once upon a time.
Well, Garnet Press, that was on Richmond Street, right?
Yeah. They had something.
And
there was a lot of those smaller places.
There was a house, and that was nice. I mean, she was part of the Queen Street thing, and she would have, I think, 2 artists downstairs, artists upstairs, and then between the 2 artists, they'd have a guest artist. I was the guest artist there a couple of times.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
actually, I did I painted their garage. Like, and the name does sound familiar.
So is there a scene now? Is there an art scene in this city?
Not that I know of.
No.
I don't really, I mean, like, not that, I mean, I'm part of this, for the Pabst thing, it's part of the Plywood Collective, but it's mainly just in, like he just says, we're having a show, come on down and do this. So it's not where you meet and talk about what your plans are.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, I mean, I'm just, I pretty well go rogue.
Yeah.
So
that's cool, right?
No, I do what works for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I will I love collaborating with people. There's a woman who's in the show, and we're going to collaborate on doing a painting together. And there's this guy the Love Bot. I've been putting it off for months and months. The guy who does the Love Bot around the city. But anyway, I wanted to do something with him, but I've just been so busy. I've had time to really. When I say I'm so busy, I don't mean I'm so busy. I just mean the 4 or 5 hours I have today is filmed. Then I go fuck around for a while.
Right.
So I'm not that busy. No one's ever that busy. But yeah, I mean, I like I'm open for suggestions and collaborations. Like I love doing it. Like this one guy wanted me to. He used to be on the board, but he did like monthly. He wanted me to do his album cover, and he says he lives in the camera. He says I'd like to do you to paint my view from my window, and I said, oh, that's something I would never normally do, which I like doing it because it's not my standard thing. I mean, I've got my shtick I'm pretty good at. Like I can whip that shtick off pretty quick.
Yeah.
Even with this, just when I wanted to do the Hot Wheels, because I thought like, fuck, it's totally nice because I can do the. Like I'm really good at doing what I do, and I like doing it. But I think it's really look good to mix it in with something else, like have them more live together. Like I like trying to do my stuff and something a bit more realistic with my stuff there. I think it adds to each other. Hoping it sort of.
So what do you do? Just take a jigsaw and go to town?
Yeah. I used to do lots of like cutouts on jigsaws, like just do a character and just because I like the 3-dimensional thing of it. I used to do in the 80s. I'm getting back into it a little bit for certain projects because I like the 3-dimensional, and I got the idea from going to movies where they have those 3-dimensional posters.
Yeah, like the Elvis one and stuff too. I've seen those.
And where they have ones where some Bruce Willis movie.
Oh yeah,
they have the big poster where they have.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, that looks really cool.
Yeah, because I've seen yours. Because you have them in layers, right?
Yeah. Some of I do, and I like the layers. I think it has it's a cheap quality. It's a cheap trick. I like it. I think it's good that way.
So how do you plan? Did you plan that? Like, would you draw that out and then cut it to fit, and then, or are you just doing it as you go?
I have one upstairs. We'll have to look at. But I have the foreground and midground done. I have them in the background yet, and so it's going to be a 3-level thing. And this is more of a cityscape thing. And this is a neat thing because this guy, he's been on, like this guy Mike. He's been on this board for a year, if not longer. Because I just haven't had time to get to it. Because we're things someone say to me is, "Oh, take your time." Okay, well, you said it. I'll take my time.
Yeah.
And so he went on, and he wants me to do a duck press. Like I got somewhere here, I think in there I've got pictures of duck presses.
I don't even know what a duck press is.
It's where you get a duck, cook it, squeeze it, and all the juice comes out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking disgusting. But yeah, I mean, I've got this is the Hot Wheel thing. This is the pile. Like I just got a pile. Like this is a pile of pictures of octopuses and knitting utensils because she owns a knitting factory. And I think back there is a couple more, not quite sketches, but roughs for the next one after this. So I do like my Xeroxes. And also paper cutouts. Like to warm up, I'll go through. I have the across the street community center. I steal a News Star.
Oh yeah.
And I go through them and then I steal pictures from the paper. Like, because I mean, it's a great way to warm up, but also you think of angles you never thought of.
Sure. Yeah. It's a tough business, though, right? Like, I mean, it's art, making a living.
It's fucking tough. I mean, it's tough when it's not going your way.
Like, I mean, when you want to create, like I know I've done it once upon a time, but I mean to actually you want to create stuff, but at the same time you got to go out and chase jobs and the stress that puts on you, and then it takes sort of, that beat in the head when you can't actually do anything anymore because your creative energy is so beat up by chasing the money.
Well, I mean, that's why I stopped doing it for years. Because, I mean, I have to feed my ego. Yeah. Like, if no one's liking what I'm doing, I'm not like, oh, fuck them, I'm going to do it anyway, I'll just quit. Yeah. Like, no, I mean, like, I'm very, very, very fortunate that that people want my stuff. I mean, you have no control. You can't make people buy your stuff. So I'm very thankful and very my phone. I gotta change that ringtone. But I'm very thankful about that. But also, fuck it. I've worked hard. Like I've put in my time. I've fucking gone through fucking. like hard, like hard times, and obviously now we're pretty good times. We'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah.
But it's I've put in my serious time doing it.
So was there a conscious time when you basically said, okay, I can now do this full time, or like were you working other jobs and then all of a sudden you're making enough money?
Well, you know what? I don't really want to do it full time anymore.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to put everything in one basket. And also, I love my life right now. I love having everything broken up.
Yeah.
It keeps it interesting, keeps it fresh. I mean, and then it keeps me in different perspectives. I mean, and it's like a full-time job. I don't want one job.
Yeah.
I mean, I prefer to do the majority of, like, even working for the putting edge. That's not exactly me. That's really where he throws me into his putting edge thing and gives me a couple of ideas, and me and 2 assistants try and bang it out in 2 weeks. But I love that challenge of it.
Were you doing overnighters in there? Is that how you do it?
No, they close the course down from Monday to Friday,
Oh, okay.
and they open on the weekends, and he puts me up in the hotel like about maybe 10 minutes away. And so I just go in there and work average about 13 hours a day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what else am I going to do up there?
Yeah.
I mean, work, go home, watch TV. Work.
It's Whitby.
go
It's
home.
not that far, right? Wasn't it Whitby?
Well, he put me up. I mean, I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to argue with it. I mean, I don't mind not doing the 1 hour commute a day or 2 hours. This way, I just go down.
Yeah.
And also, I like having someone make my bed.
Yeah.
And they got a better TV than mine. And so yeah, no, it's nice. I mean, I got sort of bored there because it was it's in a strip mall, and they have just all your basic, like middle high end, like suburban high end restaurants, like your Jack Astor's, your Kelsey's, your Lone Stars. Like these are all and there's always some Irish place, some sushi place. But it's a high-end food court.
Yeah.
With a big movie theater in the middle of it. But I mean, I don't. So I just go to my place. Actually, one thing I was in there, I found that I really do like. I love the Swiss Chalet Festive Special. I fucking love it.
With the cranberry and
the cranberry and the chocolates, I fucking love it. And I had it at least twice a week while I was up there. I really love the Festive Special.
So when you take it on a big project like, let's say, Lee's Palace again, right? Because you
Yeah.
did that Giants. Like, you're doing the whole mural yourself? Are you bringing in people to do that, or?
I used to bring in people. I used to hire people. I don't do it anymore. I don't know if it's because I'm a control freak, or I enjoy doing it.
So you're up there on the scaffolding and doing everything
Oh,
yourself?
scissor lift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like doing everything now. I mean, I like making it, it's all me. It's all me. I mean, the only time, unless there's a real time constraint, like when I was doing but even here when I was doing the glow-in-the-dark things for the Absolute, I had my friend Glenn, and he'd fill in the colors, but I would do all the black outline myself, because my hand, I can tell when someone else draws it, not me, because I just have a certain way,
Yeah.
which is just the way I draw.
So where'd the characters come from? Where did this?
Doodling, assemblages. Some I rip off, some I steal. Sometimes I steal something. That's why I doodle from newspapers.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'll get it and put 2 and 2 together and come up with this other shape. So it's just called using your imagination, or what's functional, or what works.
And perceptive and adaptive and yeah.
Yeah, all that sort of shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's fun to do.
Yeah.
It's fun. You get a good kick when you do it. I mean, like most times my character. I mean, there's some days where I might do a sketchbook where I'm trying to create characters. It's shit. It's fucking just shit. Like it's not working today.
Yeah.
But that's the way it goes, man.
So what's next? What's on the agenda for you?
Well, this.
Yeah.
Silver Snail, reaping the rewards of Pabst ribbon, whatever they may be. Let's have a look there.
So when is that rolling out completely? You said it's just starting now,
Should
right?
be in 2 weeks.
2 weeks it'll be everywhere?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm doing this at the Flying Pony. I just have up there. I'm doing like more Christmas stuff, commissions. I think the Electric Mud, they contact me. They want me to do an extension that they're gonna for the mural there that they're gonna print out and put as a banner.
Are we going to see more buildings, do you think?
What?
Are there more buildings coming? Or
Well,
outside stuff?
I'm sure.
Yeah. Nothing that you're...
Nothing's
No,
committed.
yeah.
Nothing's committed. But I mean, that can change all the time. And right now, I've got enough stuff. The snail thing is a really big thing. Like when that's done, that's going to be like that's one piece, that piece, and then I have 5 more to do, and then I'm going to do drawings on the wall in between it. It's going to look absolutely.
And when's that
incredible. At this page, I say January.
Yeah.
So it'll be a nice way to start off the year.
Awesome.
And then there's the odd commission and I don't know, fucking maybe some film deals coming through. I don't know. But who knows what happens? I mean, like last year I had, like this year I've had more offers that I've ever had. I'm lucky if I just, a year and a half ago I would have one project. That would be my project.
So who's contacting you? Like agencies? Is that what's like
No,
for Pabst?
individuals.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
so you're not getting their ad agency calling you up and saying this is what we want to do? Is that?
No, not that. No, not that. I don't know if that's even changed now. I mean, I'm sort of just rolling with it.
Yeah.
It's. I don't know. I mean, I was thinking about, a friend of mine's doing coloring books. I was thinking about doing
That's the
a
big
coloring
thing now,
book.
yeah,
I know.
yeah.
That's what I read on
Yeah.
the internet.
Adult coloring books are the bomb now.
Yeah. The adult coloring books. So I'm thinking about
Yeah.
doing an adult coloring book, which I think would be really fun. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to think of a theme, and then putting together. Just doing this. What I have up there to get all that done. That's a month and a half, 2 months right there. So that's fine. And I'm sure by the time that ends, I do have a mural lined up for a dog. It's near Kensington Market. It's a dog. It's I forget the name of it, but it's a dog grooming center and a bike mechanic place, and that's going to be on Dundas around Spadina.
Dog grooming and bike mechanic in one place?
Yeah, one place.
Oh.
And it's a play on words with the word Shih Tzu. So I don't know the exact is, but that's one I'll do in the spring, and then also the Little India. I have to finish that up because it got too late. It got too late in the season because I had to do other things, and he sort of fucking dragged his ass on getting scaffolding. But we got scaffolding lined up for next year, and then also because that was provided with the City of Toronto. And then I was talking to a woman who does the City of Toronto stuff, and she said, "Yeah, if you have any more ideas or something like that, let me know, and we'll make it happen." So far, the City of Toronto is into me doing more murals around the city. And also, I want to do one in my house.
Oh,
when I get the brick place, because
Yeah.
I have all this glow-in-the-dark paint. I wanted to have my house to glow in the dark.
That's a cool idea.
Like in the summer, have a black light out there,
Yeah.
and have my neighbors just fucking angry. But I thought because I don't think glow in the dark doesn't last outside too much. But I thought having a glow in the dark mural on a house would be fucking really fucking cool.
Can you do that? Can you just paint your building? Are there laws and stuff? Do you have to get are there bylaws for that kind of stuff?
No.
No. So when these clubs are doing everything and you're doing all these murals,
I've never gotten one fucking. Someone says you should, but I've never gotten one.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that might be if you're blocking street traffic.
Yeah.
Like say if. The whole thing I did Lee's, I had a scissor lift.
But are you having to cross the street every 10 minutes and look and make sure that it looks the way you want it? Or
I almost got hit by a car a few times.
Yeah, that would be so hard to do because you're so close and it's so big.
Well, you go across the street, look at it, and also I'm more concerned with myself about the smaller thing, and hopefully the big thing works out. Like even if you see on all the murals I have, there's always a connecting feature that's not really apparent to you. Like there's in Lee's Palace in the bottom, there's all these roads, the Pac-Man roads that go all over the place. That sort of tied up. But in the Electric Mud, there's a road that goes from the top of the building and goes down all the way down to the very bottom. And it's because the Electric Mud just has mountains, whereas Lee's Palace has more cityscape. But on these roads, there's one connecting road that goes over the hill. 'Cause I like the idea of a road going over it, of a road with the pavement edge going over a hill. It just has a nice, cool look to it.
Right.
So it goes completely in a diagonal thing.
Right.
So I don't know if it's, and that was I thought would be a subconscious thing, like things that you might pick up.
But that's a graphic arts mechanism too, right? I mean, you're leading the eye through the page the way you sort of want the reader.
Oh yeah,
to
no. But also, I mean, when you get some of these big things, these complex pictures, you throw everything in but the kitchen sink, and hopefully a few of them work.
Yeah, yeah.
And some do, some don't. Most of the stuff sends like said it's even the stuff I was looking at that I did like 15 years ago. Like I'm actually a really better illustrator now.
Yeah.
Just because I do it more, and I do it more seriously.
Yeah.
Like before I was a more cavalier.
Yeah. And now you're a professional.
Well, it's you do it long.
Yeah, but you got your
enough,
10,000 hours in, right? So now you're there. You're that guy.
Yes, I'm beyond apprentice now.
Yes.
Was it journeyman?
Yeah, yeah. So what are you listening to now? What kind of music and stuff do you?
The radio.
Do you? Yeah.
Well.
So is there anything specific you put on when you're doing stuff, or like?
No, when I draw, I have to keep it fucking subtle. I get too distracted.
Yeah.
Like I have to generally, I just put CKLN on in the background when I do the drawing, and then when I do the actual painting, which is
then you can
then I can rock it out.
Yeah.
And so generally I like, I like I like rock music a lot. I like the punk music a lot. Lately, a band I really like listening to is the new one is the Franz Ferdinand Sparks collaboration, which is fucking brilliant. Because my friend just gave me.
I heard a couple of cuts on that actually on the radio.
It's fucking.
Yeah.
Well, I saw them. Yeah. I saw them down at Phoenix.
Oh yeah.
It was one of the shows I ever saw.
Yeah.
But it's like, also I don't really. Like if I see bands now, I mean it's like even they're fucking old in the tooth. I don't really go I don't go out because I don't live down there, and all bands up here are fucking cover bands.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I could go and see if I want. I could go down to the Greenwood and see the Eagles cover band. Or
where's the Linsmore?
It's at Greenwood.
That's here. Yeah.
Yeah. And one I missed in December, is the Deep Purple cover band.
Oh.
Deep metal. But yeah, and so there's not really much in live music. I do like seeing it. I mean, but I'm just lazy as fuck.
Yeah.
Like it's because also for me, because the TDCs, like to stay out to 2:00 in the morning means I have to take the bus home, and like it's I don't know how people I don't know how people who live in fucking Oshawa come downtown for a concert.
Well, that's like me now, man. I'm living in Mississauga. So, if I want to come I drive, but I mean, still, I don't want to drive home drunk at 2 or 3 in the morning either.
Well, I'd like to, you just don't want to get caught.
I don't want to get caught, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's hard now.
Do you go to the rock pile?
I've never been to the rock pile. It's right around the corner from my house. So it's,
oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because you like that rock stuff.
I like the rock stuff. I like all the new stuff.
Yeah.
So that's the thing too, is I'm listening to new stuff. I'll listen to what my kids are listening to. Like, as a matter of fact, on the 5th at the Garrison.
Yeah.
Have you been there?
Yes.
There's a band, a Toronto band actually. They're based out of Nashville now, called Black Pistol Fire.
Yeah.
Awesome band. I've seen them at the Horseshoe, at the Drake, and.
Well, they sort of like
just two guys.
Garage. Oh, sort of like Cattle.
Just two guys.
Do you know Cattle?
No, I don't know Cattle.
Well, they're a husband wife, and it's drum guitar.
That's what this is, just drum and guitar, and they just kick it though. They're awesome.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
oh, no.
Yeah.
No, I like doing it. I like being. Also, I don't give a fuck. I mean, it's like I watch way too much TV. I watch way too much TV. Or I'll just go to my shitty bars down the street.
Yeah, yeah. But that's part of keeping in touch, man. I there's so many people, I don't watch TV, but I think you kind of have to, right? I mean, it's...
If people don't watch TV, either they're not paying their cable bill or they're lying.
Or they're lying.
Yeah. I don't have a computer. I don't have a computer here. I do everything through my...
Your phone? Yeah.
Like even like here, I could just put whatever. I mean, that's what I do sometimes. I'll just But I try and keep in touch. And that's one great thing about CKLN is it introduced me to some new music, and because it's a great it's the best station in the city. Period. Like period. That's it.
Yeah.
Sometimes CBC, they have some interesting little things, but yeah, so it's like in CBC when I want to feel like an old fogey, CKLM when I want to hear something new, or listen to even older fogies.
Yeah. So you're not a music guy from like the
Oh, I'm fucking huge. I have a shitload of vinyl.
Yeah.
I like it. I really do like doing it. I just find the interest in it is not really there.
Did you ever play?
No.
I
did when I was doing my movie, I wrote a couple of songs that I sang with. It had just the band came in, got in the studio, and then we recorded something. And these were just one take songs.
Yeah.
But we mixed it down, and it's for this film. But I like that. But also, I'm a lousy musician. If I did want to do anything, I'd be the singer.
Yeah.
That's
And that's the difference. That's what I like about what you're doing, though. I think you're a guy that's kind of doing your thing, and you're just a dude. And then there's guys that are like, I'm an artist, and it's the whole different vibe.
But I don't get that. I really don't get that. It's like, I mean, I get people who are taking through it, but all I can think is like, what's the point? Do you think so much of yourself that your opinion is like? I think people just have a God complex when they have. It's like you have a circle of influence you can influence and go like, fuck, I made a thing and it's about my stance on
exactly.
women's nature. And I think it's an important thing. Who gives a fuck what you think of women's nature? Like, if you're gonna do something, fucking donate money.
Yeah.
Don't cause it all. Don't be a cause.
But that's what you can see on Facebook now. Like,
why don't you like something? Why don't you just fucking like something? Oh, I think it's really horrible what's going on in the world. Like. Oh yeah, you're so right. Yeah, fucking great. Fucking donate money. Volunteer somewhere.
Yeah.
I hate this bull. I'm adamantly an uncaring, shallow pond of a human being. Freely admit that, and I like that. But if I but also I don't bullshit people about that. It's like, I put up with people long enough that till I get what I want, and then I make some excuse like I'm sick or something like that. Just enough that I get what I want, and then it's like, oh, yeah. But, there's so many people, you gotta love these people. I don't have to love nobody. Well, I mean, there are people I do love. But no one has to know that.
So how long have you been here in this location? You said 14 years?
13 years, yes.
Yeah. Where did you live before here?
West End.
Oh, you were
I grew up here, and not here, but in East York, down at Woodbine Gerard, from around that area from 1960 to when I was born, 1960 to about 1980. Left East York. This is when I was working downtown. I was working for a punk theater, the New Yorker, where a lot of like a lot of the bands would come through, like where the Garys first started.
Oh yeah.
And so I go down and live for, I guess, 22 years down there. Then my mom got sick and I came back and reluctantly took care of her. I mean, being a caregiver sucks. I don't know how fucking people do it. Mm-hmm. It is horrible. I mean, like, I remember my mom got really bitchy too, so she's here and we had like what do you call those toilet seats because she wouldn't put a washer in here. So a commode. So
the commode, yeah.
So I had to empty out this commode. And one day I came in, this really ruined this word for me. She went like, Alex, you better dump it out. It's rich. It's like it ruined that word for life. Like like whenever someone says, "Oh, that's rich," I go, like, "No, that's sorry." That meaning for that's totally lost on me now.
Oh no!
This is a fucking steaming pile of poop. So I came back here, and I don't know if it's a combination of age, or just I think a combination of age, but the exodus of West End. Like like, what's one thing I do like about the East York of Toronto? Like, when I moved back here 14 years ago, fucking nothing changed. I mean, a couple of businesses changed, but the physical landscape of Danforth from Pape or whatever to Victoria Park really hasn't changed. Like, it's just now it's starting to get condoized.
Yeah.
Even with things down here. But I like that because, I mean, it's too... And also, with the West End, as I grew and there's a new influx of younger people, like, I used to feel like, I was a big part of the Queen Street or the West End scene. Now I go there, I'm a fucking tourist.
Yeah,
I'm just a tourist. And they look at me that way, too.
Yeah.
So it's like... And also, it's I don't have to be around this... I don't know what the fuck I'm saying, but I'm just very comfortable here.
Yeah.
It works out well. I go downtown, I work, I come here in my little filthy house, which I love, draw here, make some toast, watch TV.
No, this is where it's at, man.
For a single guy, like I have friends come over, they go, like, this is the best single place ever. Like, I've got my stereo there, and I don't have a girlfriend, so I don't have someone or a wife. So you should fix this up. No, I don't have to fix this up.
Yeah.
No, I have to fix it up the front door.
Yeah.
After you leave, I'm gonna fucking chain it. So I'm happy here.
Yeah, no, I get that, man. I did the married thing and the whole domestic thing. And
Well, are you married?
Not now.
Oh, okay.
No, I did it.
Yeah.
I failed.
Yeah. Oh well. Gave it a shot. Yeah. I don't want. I mean, I don't have to make small. I hate. I'm doing this just because fuck, it's a famous people thing. Oh look, I'm on a webcast. I'm a fucking great. I mean, normally if I just met you in a bar or something like that, we would not be talking this long.
No, I know. No, I appreciate it. Well, no, when I did see you in the bar, I didn't want to bother you anyway because you were running around talking to your people anyway.
Yeah.
I didn't want to bother you there, but.
Oh no, but that was just a fun thing. I mean, also in those situations, I can't talk to anyone for more than 3 minutes because I just want to bounce around. And do the whole socializing thing.
Yeah, it's good. I don't do that. I'm not good at that. I'll just stand by the bar and that's my thing. Yeah.
That's what I do normally if it's not about me.
Yeah.
Like that night was a little
it was
bit,
about
a
you.
little bit,
Yeah.
A little bit, along with the other artists.
But all right, man, that's pretty much all. Unless you got something else you want to throw in there.
Nope, I think I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just recorded a little bit of an extra, and I didn't hit record on my little player here, so I'm going to do this again. So I just want to thank everybody for coming out today, and thank Al for doing a great show. And next, again, I mentioned actually in the last recording that I didn't make. That I seem to say "and" quite a bit, and I think that's just my. I'm pausing. I'm doing all that kind of stuff. It's because I'm inexperienced and I'm not good at this thing, but I'm learning, and I think the more we do this thing, the better we're going to get. So we've got some new shows coming up. We're on a weekly podcast right now. We're on a weekly schedule. We're going to get some stuff coming up. We got some musicians coming up in the next couple of weeks, and we got a whole bunch of really cool stuff coming up. So if you're interested in Canadian talent, you want to know about some different things going on in this country, then check it out because there's a lot of really good stuff here, and I think you'd really kind of enjoy it. So check out the website, check out all Al's links, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thanks so much for listening to You Can Now with Craig Knight. You can check him out online at www.youcannow.ca.